Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here today, my name is Audrey, and we are breaking down episode 5 of The Falcon and Winter Soldier. The episode title is Truth. I am going to give a disclaimer that I'm powering through this video, getting it uploaded, because I have a concussion. Speaking is extremely, not that speaking is hard, but like every time I speak, my head hurts, so I can't speak. It's just detrimental to my health. So we're gonna break down the video and break down the episode. And I don't know if I mentioned already, if you like this video while you're watching, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, I'd love for you to subscribe, as next week is going to be the finale, but we're going to keep doing videos until Loki comes out, and then we'll have videos for all of the Marvel shows for this year. So I'd love for you to stick around. And I will let you know that this one is going to be longer than my past two, so yikes. Immediately following the aftermath of John Walker publicly executing somebody with the shield, Bucky and Sam then go to stop him and take the shield back from him. But we see his full rage, and John is refusing to give up the mantle and thinks this is a whole ploy just to get the shield back, which, like, not really, but also, like, Sam doesn't really know what to do with the shield. So that's what happens. Bucky's arm gets electrocuted. I thought that was like a cool little touch since it is, metal. John rips off Falcon's wings and tries to decapitate him too with the shield. So he is full roid rage at this point, and this man needs help. Like, serious. That therapist probably should go see her because he's got some mental issues. But Walker refuses to let down the shield, so they end up breaking his arm in order to get it, and they rip it away from him. And yes, it's a whole thing. Bucky drops the shield to Sam, giving it to him, relinquishing it to him. He's not happy with everything that happened. It seems like at first he kind of blames Sam for what happened with John Walker, but he comes around at the end. So then basically the US kind of shuts down the camp. They are taking full jurisdiction since something happened, which is a little bit insane because I would think that this would be something that the Latvian government wants to get involved with, but I don't know. So we see Torres again. He hadn't been here in a while, so Joaquin Torres is back. And Sam's kind of keeping him in the dark about exactly what happened with the shield and with John Walker. So he's not really saying what happened. But the pretty huge thing here is that he shows, like, the wings and all that, and Sam leaves with the shield, and then Torres is like, hey, you forgot your wings, and he tells him to keep them. So in the comics, Torres takes up the mantle of Falcon after Sam becomes Captain America, and he also does get experimented on by the Power Broker. I don't know if they're going to go that route entirely, but it does look like Torres is going to become a version of Falcon in the future, which is exciting. There's going to be a new Falcon, new Captain America. So then we go back to the US, and they're having this meeting with, like, a Senate hearing committee, and we find out that John Walker is relieved of his duty of Captain America and from the U.S. military. He has been dishonorably discharged. So if you know anything about the military, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Discharge, you're relieved from duty, you're no longer in service. If you're injured in war, if you're wounded in combat, typically you get honorable discharge, so you still keep your ranking, and you have pension and all that sort of stuff, the benefits. If you're dishonorably discharged, you've done something really bad, and the government strips your title. So, like, basically that you committed some sort of treason, or you did some sort of war crime atrocity. So, you get dishonorably discharged. But I think one of the key moments of this episode, actually, is that Walker and his wife are then sitting outside, all being like, blah, 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 I'm still Captain America, whatever. And Julia Louis-Dreyfus comes walking up, and she says her name is Valentina. So in the comics, this is a character that is known as Madame Hydra. So she is a sleeper agent. She was a Russian sleeper agent. She seems very funny, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus is just a hilarious person. I mean, I feel like I've seen so much of the stuff that she's been in, and I kind of just didn't see her coming in this. Like, if you've watched, I mean, she was known for Seinfeld, but I think if you watch, like, Veep, she's very funny in that. Can I help you? What are you doing? Oh my god, she's gonna walk on my desk. No coffee for you, ma'am. But I think in this sort of realm, and she kind of like is gonna recruit, she's like future recruiting him, so I think this is just laying more seeds for Thunderbolts. You know, she's not really a member of the Thunderbolts, but I'm not sure how much they're gonna do with Ross in the future. If they're gonna have him be kind of the leader of the Thunderbolts, or they're gonna like meld it and it's gonna be a little bit different. I don't know, but I feel like they're kind of chickening out on wanting to make him a villain, which is silly because he's a villain in the... He was definitely a villain in the Incredible Hulk movie, and obviously the comics. And the Thunderbolts are named after him, so we'll see what happens, but yeah. The GRC camp in Latvia is raided and everyone's removed for harboring the Flag Smashers, so that's the whole thing. The Flag Smashers are still in that Latvian camp, which it looks like they filmed all that stuff in a day. Reshoots. She makes a really weird line, which I think is just more to the theory that there is a completely cut out subplot of this, in which she says something like Donia had to give her life to be a citizen of the world. If somebody dies, you don't really say something like that if somebody dies of tuberculosis. You know, you could theory craft that maybe it's like, oh, well, she could have gotten vaccines and stuff like that, but they didn't. But, like, tuberculosis is pretty curable, so, yeah, I don't know about that. I think there's a cutout subplot that line just, they're not wanting you to look into. We cut to Zemo at the Sokovian Monument, and then Bucky comes to see him, so we get that footage from the trailer with the gun and the bullets falling, and Zemo tells Bucky that he's gonna have to kill Carly, it's the only way to stop her. The Dora Milaje show up, and say that they're gonna take Zemo to the raft, which is stupid. What in the world? They should have taken that man back to Wakanda, but how else is he going to be in the Thunderbolts if he doesn't get to the raft, which everyone can freaking escape? Did not remember that that Cap broke all those people out, and also Abomination is in the raft, and we know he's going to be in She-Hulk. So, yeah, this is how the Thunderbolts are going to happen, by taking him to the raft instead of Wakanda. Sam goes to visit Isaiah. Isaiah tells him a little bit more about his backstory. Not super much more that we knew, just like that there was a nurse that took pity on him and basically declared him dead so that he could get out of the camp. And that he was imprisoned because they were going to bomb a prisoner of war camp with with the U.S. troops that were tested on just to hide evidence. So he went and freed them, and then he was put in jail for that. So for being a literal war hero, yeah, you know. I have a whole conversation about how he says no self-respecting black man would want to become Captain America. So there's that whole thing going on, and it's just more issue for Sam, really pulling at what he really wants. Bucky and the whole town come to fix the boat in Louisiana. The Wilson family shipping the fishing boat. They all come together to fix that. We see Bucky flirting with Sarah from some of the behind the scenes footage. It really wasn't that extensive, but that's what it was. He also leaves something in a little suitcase from Wakanda after he called in additional favor from the Dora Milaje. Walker visits the Hoskins family, as his wife has instructed him he should do, and lies to them and says that the man that he killed was the man that killed Battlestar. Which did not happen. Obviously it was Carly, and she did not intentionally kill him. She showed signs of remorse, so yeah, he just straight up lied to them, and they're like, yeah, okay, whatever. They like all are like, yeah, he's resting well knowing that the man that killed him got his justice, but that's not true, is it, John? We see 10 seconds of Sharon Carter being weird and shady as hell again, calling in some weird mission, and she's gonna pay somebody double to carry it out. I don't think Sharon's on the good team, and honestly, I don't know if it's Sharon or if it's some weird scroll version of Sharon. Because I always, honestly, I thought she could have been a scroll, for sure. Sam and Bucky practice with the shield, and we see a big old Sam training montage after Bucky leaves. Be like, bye, dude. Sam is really getting the Captain America thing down. He's doing flips, he's going on runs, he is swinging that thing like a boomerang. It's all looking good. I mean, it was a great sequence. The Flag Smashers call in Batroc the Leaper, and Batroc the Leaper just wants revenge on Falcon. Silly. But they're going to blow up the GRC vote. That's what's going to happen there. They're going to commit a terrorist attack. And then the episode ends on Sam opening the little suitcase from Wakanda, and seemingly it's like new gear. So we're getting some Wakandan tech, which is awesome. Can't wait to see what it is. I thought maybe they were gonna like give the Wilson family some money, since like Wakanda's rich as hell, but who knows. So it looks like it's gonna be some new gear. And then this episode does have a post-credit scene. I have been watching through the credits just in case this happens. I think WandaVision had one towards the end of the season. That's when they started having the mid and post-credit scenes. So there's just one, but it shows John Walker making his own shield and mumbling to himself that he is Captain America because that man needs therapy. And possibly some psychotics, you know. That man needs help. Give this man some help. So that was the breakdown portion, and then I'm gonna just give my thoughts after I drink some cool stuff. The whole thing, there was a few things about this episode. You cannot, here's just gonna be my thing. If you've learned from WandaVision, you cannot let these showrunners and these actors like hype you up to the point where you're expecting the things that probably just aren't going to happen. So, you know, I don't know what they thought that you're like, there's something that's going to make you cry in this episode. Am I cold-hearted that I don't see what that was? I could see maybe like being the stuff about Isaiah, but I thought it was like a cameo thing that was going to make you cry. So that's my whole thing. I was a little confused. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, I think, is the cameo. I think it was Valentina. So I think that's what it is. And because the showrunner said, Marcus Spellman said, that she was a character that would pair very well with Thor. She's kind of funny. I mean, I think she probably could pair well with Thor, and she seemed pretty down to earth. So that's probably who that is. But we have another Russian, so theoretically she knows the Winter Soldier. Maybe she knows Natasha. Natasha's dead. But I know this is going to tie into Black Widow, so there's a lot of stuff that like they could really be bringing about with the two of them. So yeah, I'm excited to see that. Next week is the finale of this show. I don't think that any of us really anticipated that Zemo was going to be taken out of play, like by the finale. I thought possibly he would kill John Walker or Carly, but clearly that's not going to happen. So yeah, I mean, John Walker was kind of taken out of play, but he's like rogue at this point, and he is just a crazy wild card, so he might be hunting down Carly, and he's going to have some weird shield with his medals of honor from service. Like, that man is horrifying me at this point. This is really funny because he looks just like Goldie Hawn, just his mom. He looks just like Goldie Hawn, so I'm like, Goldie Hawn, what are you doing? Don't kill this person. Yeah, I mean, I mean, Sam is going to become Captain America, and he also gives, I think, an interesting part that I didn't mention is that he kind of talks to Bucky about, you know, you're sitting here trying to make amends to make yourself feel better, but you're not really doing anything. You, like, help the people that you wronged. Like, he says you're just avenging people that you helped when you were working for Hydra. So he's gonna go back to that old Japanese man, Asian man. I don't know if he's Japanese. He's gonna go back to that old Asian man, and he's gonna tell him what happened and give him closure. And I don't know if it's gonna go well, but he's gonna have to be honest. And it's not about making Bucky feel better. It's about giving that man some closure, like, because that's what he deserves for what happened. So that's pretty much what's gonna go on there, I think. And I think this whole show, I don't remember, not even just because I hit my head, but I don't remember if I had brought this up before, but I had talked about this with somebody, that I think it was called Falcon and the Winter Soldier because it's about them shedding their old identities to create new ones. So people were really confused when the show was announced because they were like, well, Falcon was supposed to be new Captain America, and Winter Soldier's no longer Winter Soldier, so why are they titled that? So I think it's like shedding your old identities. Bucky still has a lot of stuff to work through to get rid of the Winter Soldier, and that stuff's going to be with him probably forever. But before he can take up a new mantle, he's got to get rid of all that stuff, and he's got to make amends and actually help some of the people that he wronged. And Falcon had to work through his own things before he can take up the mantle of Captain America. But I think the series will end with Sam Wilson as Captain America and Bucky Barnes as just Bucky Barnes. I mean, he's kind of White Wolf, although Ios is, do not come to Wakanda anytime soon because of what you did. They're probably not happy with you, so just I would avoid Wakanda. But either Bucky or some sort of version of the White Wolf, but not as Winter Soldier. So that's kind of what I think is going to happen. We'll see if I think Carly will end up in the Raft, and I think she will be later recruited for a Thunderbolts team in the future. But that's kind of what I think. What do you guys think is going to happen in the finale? Are you excited for the finale? What did you think of this episode? Let me know in the comments below. I really love to read your comments. And you guys, Marvel fans, don't want to comment and let me know what you thought. Like, I want to talk about this with somebody, so leave your comments down below. It's always been Audrey. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you'd like to watch any of my other videos, I will leave them here for you to watch. I can barely breathe. And I'm going to stop talking for several hours after this. Alright, take care, guys.